This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Live on 94.3 Radio 1 right here in Mumbai City and streaming live across the nation, audio on www.onecast.in. That's numeral 1cast.in, and only statutory warning. Only if you're not driving, you're in the backseat of a car being chauffeur-driven, or you're in the backseat of a radio taxi, or you're at home or at the office without a radio set. Then we're streaming live on facebook.com/radio1.mum, RADIOONE.mum. Having said that, like I told you yesterday, the beautiful Neha Dhupia is here. What's up,
Yay! Thank you. That's the first time at like 9 a.m. in the morning someone's called me punctual and beautiful. It's never happened in my life.
Yeah, you know, I have to laud you for your honesty. Karan said that on camera and you guys didn't take it out of the edit. I texted you saying be on time. But for the record, bang on time. Virgo woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, showing some Virgo efficiency. Absolutely punctual. Okay. Now, I spent last night watching this on the Voot app. I'm sorry, I didn't get the live telecast.
That's fine.
Fabulous. Shweta Bachchan and Karan Johar together on Jeep India Presents BFFs with Vogue.
Powered by Motorola Beauty Partner Nykaa.com, only on Colors Infinity. Every Saturday, 8 p.m. Sorry, I just took over. I had to.
Now, getting the two of them together. So, who do you make that call to? Do you make that call to one of them? Do you make the call to the manager? I imagine there's a lot of personal stuff involved here because it's not just done by the management and the channels and things like that. This is so Neha. This show has Neha written all over it. Talk to me about getting the BFFs together.
Not just in as far as Karan and Shweta are concerned, we've kind of packaged, or we finished doing the entire season, which is 10 episodes. And then, the biggest thing about getting celebs is getting the celeb. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the hardest thing to convince them, and this is a newer format of an older show that's already happened. So yeah, I mean, convincing Karan wasn't so hard. In fact, a lot of people would think that trying to get Karan Johar to do something is actually very hard. He's the kind of person, I know his weakness. I don't think we played on that. And it was mostly the production house and my producers from Condé Nast who kind of, reached out to everybody. And Karan's biggest problem is he can never say no. So it was great. So Condé Nast just messaged him saying, would you like to come and can you be a part of this? And we wanted him for the first episode. Who better to do, open a season of a talk show with than Karan Johar? And then he was like, he'd like to come with Shweta. And Shweta was nice enough to say yes. She's a little camera shy, and I was in conversation with Shweta for about a week before we actually launched on the 20th, and she was just like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, and oh my god, I don't think I can handle seeing myself on television. But I don't think she did badly either. The whole point of the show is to get their personalities out. So whoever you are, just be yourself when you come over to my apartment in that show. That's how we've staged it. So yeah, so getting them wasn't that hard, but getting a few other people was hard. And then it's always a tricky one. I don't know if I should be saying this out loud on radio and on Facebook, but the good thing is when they're there, they're 100% there. They're playing the games. They're going with emotions. They understand the format of the show, and they're all stars. They know how to play to the gallery, and that's the best part about them.
And you know the beauty of it, and hats off to my buddy Fazad Balia, the Mad Balaji.
Yay, go Fazad, go Fazad. Yeah, big ups to him.
Absolutely. So a great job, you guys. Is the fact that, there's a set which is built like a lovely apartment or a duplex or a house.
A studio,
A studio, which is actually Neha's. And while she's doing the intro, Karan just comes in and, bangs the knocker and says, this is me. And then, you catch Shweta while she's actually adjusting a picture frame and things like that.
Yeah, because she has me.
Which eventually it leads to her being OCD.
Yeah, she is.
So I like the whole structure of it, and also the way you've structured the questions to get out the quirks of each one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is, of course, it's been written by Mansi, who's lovely, and it was keeping the guest, it was keeping the format, and it was keeping me in mind. Like, I just wanted to be in a candid conversation. I didn't want to be this other person. And if I just want to, we've got a lot of games, and I'm going to just jump the gun and talk about that a little bit. So the first format where you knock the door and you come in is an international Vogue format, which is called the 73 questions, where, in one shot we have a conversation and they talk to me like I'm the camera. Going on to then having a conversation, which is on the couch. And then the show is where we play a game called the Spice Rack. So you have an option, either answer the question or just eat the spice. And then the third part is say it or strip it, which means again you answer the question or strip a piece of your clothing, and then we play like a physical game. The thing about say it or strip it is if you give a phenomenal answer, I strip.
I was about to come to say this. So it's on an even keel. It's nicely balanced. Continue.
Yeah. So it's got no pretense that like I'm going to be cool about this. Even people who come on the show after the first 2 minutes, they forget that they're on camera. The whole idea of having them on the show is to make them feel that they're in my apartment. Like, we kind of like, it's almost like getting into this place. And in my head, I was just like, you have to make them feel that no one's watching. That's the only way they'll shed their inhibitions. And that's exactly what they did. And it was great. To a point where on Say It and Strip It, up next is Deepika and Anisha Padukone's episode. And Anisha and Deepika gave such amazing answers that I had literally nothing to take off. So I took off my fake eyelashes on camera, and it's there in the promo. And it's so scary because I was just like, she was just like, best kisser in the industry. And I was just like, she's never going to answer this, And my styling team also, which is the Vogue team, they were like, with Deepika, you don't have to worry. She's very safe. She's not going to answer anything. So I was just like, okay, so should I wear the jacket or not? They were like, you don't need it. You'll never need it. My jacket was off, my accessories were off, my shoes were off. I had nothing left. And I was just like, she gave some sensational answers. She was like, yeah, Ranveer Singh is the best kisser. I was just like, whose dress will you wear on your wedding? This one or that one? She just named Pat. Will you call Katrina for your wedding? She's like, no. And I was just like, okay, eyelashes off. They had literally nothing left. So, it's about, all games were like, three-way, and then it's just been so much fun, Hrishi.
Logical Song, Supertramp, back in a couple of minutes with Neha Dhupia. Some piano-based retro music, Supertramp and the Logical Song, live on 94.3 Radio 1 at 9:21 in the morning. Lovely Neha Dhupia is here.
Hey!
Streaming audio live across the nation online on www.onecast.in. That's numeral 1cast.in, and statutory warning, only if you're not driving. Live now on Facebook at HRISHIKAY. More conversation about Jeep India presents BFFs with Vogue with Neha in control.
Powered by Motorola, beauty partner.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
January 20th, Saturday, 8 p.m.
You are such a good brand ambassadors. I have to say this also, guys. The fag end of the show, she does a bit of a makeup session, and I thought that was really cool. It's what I call subtle marketing. It's not there in your face. You're doing a bit of eyeshadow, that. So great stuff on weaving that in.
I mean, I think it's, I'll tell you, Hrishi, the thing is that it's got a lot to do with the team and how they put it all together. And this one, like you said, Farzad, and who's heads Colors Infinity, and then we have the lovely Smita, who's also from the channel, and then we've got the entire Conde team, and we've just, when you work with a bigger brand like Colors Infinity, they just make sure that everything else works for you, and it's got nothing to do with me. All the credit goes to the team.
And speaking of the Karan Johar and the Shweta Bachchan episode, now that we can talk about in entirety because it's out there. The rest we're just going to give nuggets and things like that.
Yes.
What I also liked is the fact that here are two people who spent childhood vacations together.
Yes.
And there were these funny nuggets of skating ring incidents.
Yes.
And waxing incidents. I leave you to say the rest.
Yeah, I mean, everything. They kind of discussed Shweta's OCD to Karan accusing her of there was a point where Shweta
stalking the kids.
Yeah, Shweta was talking about the kids, and he's like, she keeps stalking her own children and how she stalks everyone on social media, which is the truth because I know Shweta as well, and she's hilarious. She's lovely, but she does that. And then Karan was talking about, she's like, I can't give this answer and all, and then she was just like, oh, but you are the one who heads nepotism. So he was kind of cracking the joke on himself. And there was also a point in Say It or Strip It where he was like taking his clothes off, and finally he took his sock off and he like chucked it towards her, and she couldn't handle it.
And this is a person who, if you take a bite off her food, like when Karan takes a bite off her plate, she just leaves it aside. And she was candid enough to admit it, which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Also, one of those rare occasions where Karan talked about his kids. you know?
Yeah.
In
he
a very
spoke
funny
about
manner.
how the kids have a personality, and of course, anything that Karan says is strangely extremely funny. He always, what I love about him is his humor is everything from being super bright to self-deprecating, and that's why you find his conversation so interesting. Everything from falling in a skating ring to then going on holidays to, growing up together. The good stuff is that they're not make-believe BFFs, and that's the one thing I told the team. I was like, do not get me two people who don't know each other at all. Either they've worked together on, one or two films, and that's why they've ended up becoming friends. Because even when you go out and do films together, for instance, we had Ayushmann and Bhumi, and I actually reached out to Ayushmann and I was like, who do you want to come with? Would you like to come with Kriti or Rajkumar? Because his films are coming out at that time, which were, with them. And he's like, not at all. I'm actually very, very close to Bhumi. And he arrived with Bhumi on the show. And the two of them had so much fun together, like everything from discussing their respective favorite sexual positions to talking about other crazy stuff. They kind of like, they let go. They spoke about music and the kind of stuff they love, or the fact that, the things that they didn't enjoy about each other when they were on set, or what their first impressions were. That's an interesting thing, actually, that we do on the show. Apart from the games, is that I introduce them very briefly, and I'm like, so this guy's your BFF and he's your BFF, so the introduction is your job. So they have their own versions of introducing each other on the show, which makes for great conversation, because then I pick up those points and I'm just like, why did he say this about you? Why did you say this about him? So, that way you get to know them even better.
Of course, Karan was sporting enough to introduce himself because Shweta was a little reserved as far as that is concerned. Bhumi, I mean, that laughter would have reverberated around the studio.
Yes.
She's got a mad laughter, doesn't she?
She does. And when you do shows like this, and you would go through this as well, you have, we know people, a lot of people who come on screen or who are famous, and because of their work, we have these preconceived notions and we form opinions because of what we read about them. But when they must walk into your studio, you must be like, hey, but this person's so different. Or, oh my God, I thought this person was really cool and charming, but that person turns out to be like this very uptight person. So they switch, or the impression of them switches once you meet them in person. And the same thing happened to me. But, there were a lot of people like Radhika Apte I'd never met before. There was Rani Mukherjee, who I've always been a fan of, who I've never met before, hung out with. Juhi Chawla came with Jackie Shroff because we wanted like a nostalgic kind of episode. So I didn't know her. And Bhumi, I knew very little of. There were a couple of people who I actually got to know on the show.
So Rani came with whom?
Rani came in with Sabyasachi Mukherjee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah. And Sabyasachi, of course, I've kind of know, and I knew what to expect. But I was mighty impressed. Rani answered pretty much everything. She didn't eat anything off the spice rack, or even Bhumi. I mean, she had one piece of clothing on and she freaking kept it on right till the end because she answered all the questions, or even Radhika Apte, newfound respect apart from her talent. So
who did Radhika roll in with?
Rajkumar Rao.
Wow.
So Rajkumar Rao and Radhika Apte. Rajkumar, of course, had a lot of stripping to do.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because he was playing rather safe on the show. But I can say it now and that's the good stuff about filming all 10 episodes before you actually go on air. I can't change anything anymore. Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
We're going to take Jason Mraz, I'm Yours, special request, Neha Dhupia. Who do you want to dedicate it to? I mean, you can dedicate it to the world at large.
Yes,
world
at large. I got no more than that.
I'm Yours, Jason Mraz, back in a bit. In case you want to get that album into your life, start streaming it or download it. We sing, we dance, we steal things. Son of Czech immigrants into the US. Really hard life as a kid. And look at Jason Mraz and the music that he puts out. Pristine, beautiful.
Really?
I'm Yours. Yeah, I'm Yours. And Neha Dhupia is yours.
Yeah, I'm yours. I won't hesitate no more. I should stop singing.
You have a singing voice.
No, I don't.
You do. Okay, guys, live on 94.3 Radio 1 Mumbai City and live online through the nation, www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in. And if you're not driving, we're live on Periscope and Twitter now at HRISHIKAY. More conversation. Please watch it. Jeep India presents BFFs with Vogue, hosted by Neha Dhupia. You want to give the rest?
Yes, Jeep presents BFFs with Vogue, powered by Motorola, beauty partner, Nykaa.com, only on Colors Infinity, every Saturday, 8 p.m. Repeat. Sunday morning, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m.
I already see another career. You should start doing voiceovers also.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Okay, so who else is coming up? So there's Anisha and Deepika.
Yeah.
There is Radhika Apte and Rajkumar Rao. There's, you said Rani and Sabya.
Rani Mukherjee, Sabyasachi
Who else?
Mukherjee, who are not related, but BFFs. There's Katrina and Alia. There's Shahid Meera. There's, who else? There's Ayushmann Khurrana Bhumi and Bhumi Pednekar. There's one nostalgic episode with Jackie Shroff and Juhi Chawla, which was the bomb. Like, Jackie Shroff is the bomb. And and he's like, ये वो तो नहीं हो जाएगा वहाँ पे वो जो viral हो जाता है and all that, because he's had a couple of things go viral. And
Yeah, I can imagine. And back in the day, I mean, this man was the bomb.
Yeah.
So, and considering that there were so many rumors of so many affairs floating around, which he's very open about. And he says, "Bado bahut sara mera naam jana." The fact that Juhi and him have stayed friends through the decades, that must have come across as a very cute kind of thing. So a couple of moments without giving too much away.
Of course. I thought Juhi was highly, I felt like my questions threw her off in a very cute way. Like, she was just like, oh, are you really asking that?
She's old school.
She's just like, just give me the chili. And, but she did answer a couple of things, like we spoke about rivalries that existed at that time, to, what she thinks about people right now and if she thinks actors are overrated. And she had very sort of valid answers to everything. There was a sing-off kind of game between the two of them. And Juhi Chawla sings like a dream. It was shocking for me to find. It was a revelation that I was, it was one of my goosebump moments in the season to hear Juhi Chawla sing. Another goosebump moment that I had which is in the next episode that's coming up.
The Anisha Deepika one.
Anisha Padukone and Deepika Padukone. This is the first time Anisha actually had, did one of those really candid kind of interviews with her sister. And obviously I didn't know anything about Anisha, but she was so cool. She was so candid, and she spoke about what she felt when she saw her sister in Om Shanti Om, and she was just like, she felt so distant, and she felt partially neglected.
Wow.
And she thought life was very unfair on her, but actually she was like, she reached out to her sister many years later, and then they went on this one trip, and she was just like, nothing changes and we continue to be sisters. And she tried to bridge the gap, and how she kind of, from the age of 13 to then waiting 4 years to then traveling with her sister and seeing her sister at work, and she was just like, from something that made her really insecure, her sister's fame, she was so proud of being her sister. So when people come on the show and they speak like that, or they don't hold back, you feel so good, because the idea of doing a talk show is to have great conversations, and if you don't do that, you're a failure at your own job. So yeah, we've had some great moments. We've had Jackie Shroff come up and tell us about his Anil Kapoor days and the things that he didn't agree with, but he worked a lot with him. To Rani Mukherjee talking about how life has changed after her daughter. To Sonakshi literally, calling it with, like, there was this very loaded question about, which critic do you think is a hack? And she didn't waste a beat. She didn't even name one. She named like 6, and she was just like, cut this on close. I want everyone to know. She's got
That's
balls.
pretty ballsy, yeah?
Yeah.
So who did she come with? Who did Sonakshi show up with?
Sonakshi came with Manish Malhotra. They're very, very
nice.
close. Yeah. So, we've got a fun bunch. and like true BFFs, lots of stories. You know that they have chemistry, so it's been interesting.
We're going to disappear for about 8 minutes now, which means we're going to take some messages and a song. So you keep yourself busy. You have any questions or comments for Neha Dhupia? If you've seen the first episode, comment. If you want to comment on all these wonderful pairs who are coming up, BFFs, comment. Yeah, I'm happy to read it out on air. One space, your comment and name to 53650. 53650 is the in-studio SMS line. On Twitter and Facebook, it's HRISHIKOI. I'll pop up. You tweet out, post on the timeline inbox, and facebook.com/radio1.mum, our official page. It's 9:37. Back in a bit with Neha Dhupia.
94.3 Radio 1.
Hot current hits. Hot current hit. You heard it first on 94.3 Radio on Haley Steinfeld, Blood Pop. It's called Capital Letters. 9:48 live in studio, 94.3 Radio 1 in Mumbai City with the lovely Neha Dhupia. We're live audio across the nation. Online on www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in. And of course, now, for those of you not driving, we're live on Instagram at HRISHIKY. More conversation. Watch Jeep India presents BFFs with Vogue. It's on Colors Infinity, 8 p.m. Saturdays, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, lovely. More chat.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
So I have to say, I told you after I saw the screening when I came out, Sulu was so good, and you were so good in
Thank
Sulu,
you.
man, as Maria, the head of the radio station. So all these radio interviews,
the name of the boss.
all these radio station interviews are doing you good.
Yeah,
You know what they
thank
say
you.
about
Thank you.
imbibing that into your real life, you know, and really the way the movie was received. I get the feeling that with, the Savan show, with the Colors Infinity show, the reason why people are able to be so honest and even risque with you is because they feel comfortable in your company, and hats off to you for that. That you're almost on your great second innings.
Yeah, everybody's calling it my sort of second innings, and I feel like I've more importantly, I just feel as a person, personally and professionally. It happened first personally, and only then can it happen professionally. And I would speak for everyone out there. I just got really comfortable in my own skin. I think all through my 20s, I was just trying to be this person who's kind of, usne gold sari kisi film mein pehni, so I'll also dress the same way, or somebody else made a high pony in the event before, so I'm going to try and do that. And I'm just like, and suddenly I don't know what happened, and I was just like, no way, I'm going to be. That's the most beautiful thing about growing old, is that you just start using your brains a lot more than you were when you were younger. And I kind of applied myself towards making wealth and value as opposed to making money, or applied myself as to banking on my thoughts than on my looks, and you just change as a person. I'm really, and I'm saying all this in absolutely with complete modesty. And the other thing is, of course, you get very few opportunities in the business, and you have to learn how to make the most of it. Even now, like, I'm on the verge of signing a new film, and I'm kind of teamed up, and the role is, I'm not going to give you too many details,
Sure.
but the role is of, if I sign it, I'm playing this teacher, and then there's this kind of bunch of students who are with me who are much younger, but when we do our readings, it's like they know everyone's lines. They sing, they dance, they play instruments. And where are these people coming from? So when you're going up against people with so much talent and so much preparation, and we're the generation that was raised to believe that ya to tum doctor banoge, ya MBA banoge, ya engineer banoge. This is the generation which is like, at 6 they're like, we want to become actors, and they're trained to become that. So if you're going to compete with them, you have to know how to hold your own. And call it my second innings or whatever, as long as I'm out there doing stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not qualified to comment on acting and other spheres of your
course
life.
you are.
But I am qualified to talk about what makes for a great interview.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing you do, Neha Dhupia, and you're very good at it, is that you're a good listener. You know what they say about acting? That, reacting. Good reacting is acting. That's what I tell any new kid that walks through the door and they ask me what's the secret to great radio. They say the secret to great radio is listening, especially when an interview is in progress.
And you're
because
bloody
talking everybody does.
Yeah.
Some people with different degrees of beauty or disgust, as the case may be. And you're really good at doing that. So let's come back to the show. So it's what? It's 10 episodes? Is that
It's
it
10.
in all?
The season this is season 2. This is 10 episodes. The first episode is already on. We launched on the 20th of January. It's you can watch it on Colors Infinity at 8 p.m. every Saturday, and then repeats are at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Sundays, and of course through the week. If you don't catch it on Colors Infinity, you can find it on Voot.
Yeah, I mean it's on the Voot phone app, which is fabulous. Anytime viewing. Yeah.
And so I'm excited. You're going to be seeing 10 weeks of me, and if you have any sort of comments, suggestions, feedback, anything at all, I'm totally open. And there's nothing much we can do this season because they're all canned episodes.
Yeah.
But in case I come back next season, I'll definitely try and incorporate everything. But we've just tried to have fun. We're not comparing ourselves to any other talk show that's out there. We just want to hold our own, and in whatever way possible. And there's nothing fake about my show except probably my eyelashes that will come off at some point in the season.
I'm going to bring some nostalgia back. It's the Spice Girls and Say You'll Be There. We're at 9:53. I can squeeze in a quick bye-bye with Neha. At which point, I'm sorry, we're not going to go live Facebook, Insta, Twitter. Also because I need my phone. So I'm going to read out all your messages. I know there are lots of messages lined up across social media and the Twitter feed. So see you in a couple of minutes to say bye-bye to Neha. The Spice Girls Say You'll Be There. I promised I'm going to read out your messages, so here goes.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
Lots of Neha Dhupia fans, me included. Vandana Rathod. Lovely show. Enjoyed. Cheers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Rohan Kalgutkar. Also, I agree that Neha Dhupia can kill it in the voiceover field. She's so cool. Rohan continues to say, please give Neha Dhupia a very good morning. Also, I missed out the first episode. Will I be able to see it anywhere online? Yeah, buddy, on Voot. I missed it too, so I caught it last night. Too super excited to see Juhi and Jackie, Kat and Alia and the Padukone sisters. It's such a cool concept, and he sent this gift for you.
Hey, I love Jess.
So Ron, that's you. Ruhi Gupta. Where else can you watch BFFs apart from Colors Infinity? You got it there. Voot. Puneet Tripathi. Hello and good morning to the lovely Neha Dhupia as well. Thank you very much. Good morning, he says. Puneet continues. Good morning from Bhor in Pune, listening on onecast.in. Well done. Our online feed is getting a lot of collared hippie. Kindly go live when Maddie is here and do ask him about Jamshedpur. Yeah, correct. Maddie, Madhavan is rolling in after a long time for Breathe. So yeah, we will go Facebook Live, fret not. And I will ask Maddie about Jamshedpur. Okay, that's all I can read now because it's 9:58. We've got to go into the next hour. Thank you very much, all of you. If I missed out your messages, I beg your pardon. Neha Dhupia, famous last words.
Famous last words. I just have to say that it's been great hosting season 2 of BFFs at Vogue, and we're absolutely nothing without an audience. And everyone out there who's listening to us right now on 94.3 Radio 1, remember to tune in to Colors Infinity on Saturdays at 8 p.m. And you're going to catch me in really candid conversations with your favorite celeb and their BFF. And in case you miss out on watching this on Colors Infinity on Saturday at 8 p.m., you can catch it through the week on the channel or then on Voot. As long as you catch it, that's all that matters.
Okay, last couple of messages coming in on Facebook now. Sarvesh Kedia. Shweta Bachchan madam is amazing. She supported me on Instagram when I was sketching Mr. Bachchan for his 75th birthday. She made sure to even reply to me when I requested her. She's a very humble lady. Dumpling Suman says, hi Neha ma'am, and a big wave to you there.
Big wave right back.
Big wave right back. And my God, these messages are streaming as we speak. So thank you very much, all of you. That's about it. We're at the 10 o'clock mark. Neha, have a good day.
Thanks, Hrishi. It's been fun.
Messages and back.
94.3 Radio 1.